Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the 32nd lecture in linear algebra which is based on linear transformation. So in my previous video lecture, I have discussed about a theorem which was stating about the existence of the linear transformation. So you can visit my previous video lecture, and in the today's video lecture we will be discussing a theorem, and later on we'll be solving a question which is based on the previous theorem. And the theorem for today is, so let T be a linear transformation defined from V of f to W over the field f. Then prove that if the vectors v1, v2, so on to vn are LD over f, then prove that T of v1, T of v2 and so on to T of vn, obviously they will belongs to W, right? They are also LD. Now what is LD and Li? You can visit my previous video lectures for this. And for the second part, it is if the vectors v1, v2, so on to vn are such that their images T of v1, T of v2 and so on to T of vn belongs to W are linearly independent over f, then we have to prove that v1, v2 and so on to vn's are linearly independent. So we can state this theorem in other words that if T is a linear transformation which is defined from V to W over the same field f, then prove that the image of a linearly dependent set is linearly dependent and the pre-image of linearly independent set is linearly independent. So in the first part we are given that v1, v2 up to so on to vn, they are linearly dependent. So since v1, v2 and so on to vn are linearly dependent over the field f, right? So by the definition of linearly dependent, there exist scalars, of course coming from the field, that is, let them be a1, a2 and so on to an belonging to field, right? Not all zeros, such that their linear combination is 0, that is a1 v1 plus a2 v2 and so on to plus an vn is equals to 0, right? Now what we were interested to prove is that T of v1 plus T of v2 and so on to T of vn, right, they are linearly dependent. So for that what we will do here is we'll apply T on both sides. So apply T on both sides. So this will be T of a1 v1 plus a2 v2 and so on to an vn is equals to T of 0. And in my previous video lectures I have proved that T of 0 goes to 0. So this is 0, and here since T is a linear transformation you can use the property of linearity. So this will be a1 T of v1 plus a2 T of v2 and so on to an T of vn. And already I have chosen these a1, a2 and so on to an, not all zeros, such that this thing holds. So now we can say that if this linear combination is 0 for a1, a2 so on to an, not all 0. That was the condition which I have assumed above. So from here I can say that hence T of v1, T of v2 and so on to T of vn, which were obviously coming from W, are linearly dependent using this star, and hence the result for the first part. So now let us prove the second part. Suppose there exist scalars a1, a2 so on to an coming from the field such that their linear combination is 0, that is a1 v1 plus a2 v2 plus so on an vn is equals to 0, right, for vi is coming from V and I is varying from 1 to n, right? Then apply T on both sides. T of a1 v1, a2 v2 and so on to an vn is equals to 0, T of 0 which is 0, right? And again using the property of linearity, this comes out to be a1 T of v1 plus a2 T of v2 and so on to an T of vn is equals to 0. Why we have applied this? Because T is linear. Now what we are given? We are given that, so given T of v1, T of v2 and so on to T of vn, they all are Li. That is what we are given in the second part over f. You can see again that in the second part we are given that if this thing t of v1, t of v2 and so on, they are linearly independent. So I'll be using this here. So since t of v1, t of v2 and so on to t of vn are linearly independent of the field f, therefore if the linear combination is 0, right, we have written this linear combination, therefore for this linear combination all the ai's have to be 0, right, that is I running from 1 to n. Yes, so that a1v1 plus a2v2 and so on to a_n_vn is equals to 0. This implies that a1 is equals to a2 is equal to so on to an is equals to 0, right. Therefore all the vectors, that is v1, v2 and so on to vn, they are linearly independent over the field f, right. So in this way we have proved that the pre-image of a linearly independent set comes out to be linearly independent. Now let us solve a problem using the theorem which we have discussed in the last video lecture. So the problem is, we are interested to find a linear transformation, right, which is defined from r square to r square such that t of 1 2 goes to 3 4 and t of 0 1 is equals to 0 0. Now in order to find a linear transformation, our first step will be, right, to show that these vectors 1 2 and 0 1, that is the vectors coming from domain, they forms the basis. And in order to show that the given vector form a basis, the first step will be linearly independent and the second step will be they span r square. So let us prove that these vectors, that is 1 2 and 0 1, they are linearly independent. And using the standard approach I'll be discussing here. So in order to prove linearly independent, what we'll be doing is we'll be taking a linear combination. So let alpha times 1 2 plus beta times 0 1 is equals to 0 for alpha beta coming from field, right. Now this will be alpha comma 2 alpha plus beta is equals to 0, right. Now this 0 is nothing but tuple 0 comma 0. Now comparing two tuples, this will be alpha is equals to 0, and if 2 alpha plus beta is 0, alpha is already 0, so this implies beta is also 0. So from this we have proved that if the linear combination is 0, alpha and beta both comes out to be 0, and hence these vectors are linearly independent. Now we are interested to show that these vectors, that is 1 2 and 0 1, they span r square, they span r square. So for this I will be considering any arbitrary vector xy that is coming from r square, right. Now I let that xy can be written in the linear combination. So let it be alpha times 1 2 plus beta times 0 1. This is nothing but alpha comma 2 alpha plus beta, again comparing the two tuples. So this means x is equals to alpha and y is equals to 2 alpha plus beta, right. So from here you can calculate beta, that is y minus 2 alpha, and alpha is already x, so just substitute x here. So this will be beta is equals to y minus 2x. So we have got the value of alpha and beta. So therefore xy is equals to, now what is the value of alpha? Alpha is x times 1 2 plus beta. What is beta? That is y minus 2x times 0 1. So you have written any arbitrary vector xy in terms of 1 2 and 0 1, and hence from here we can say that, and hence from here we can say that 1 2 and 0 comma 1, right, spans r square, right. Now therefore we will apply t on both sides. So now we know that t is a linear transformation, so using the property you can take x outside, so this will be x times t of 1 2 plus, so y minus 2x times t of 0 1. Now we are given in the question that t of look at to the question. T of 1 2 is also given and T of 0 1 is also given to us. So we'll be using up the values here. So x times T of 1 2, which is 3 4, and similarly T of 0 1, which is given to us in the question as 0 0, right? So on solving, this term will be 0 and here you will be getting 3x comma 4x. Therefore we have found, so therefore there exists a linear transformation, that is T of xy, which is equal to 3x comma 4x, and this is the required linear transformation. So that is the way to calculate the linear transformation, and that is one of the application of the theorem which we have discussed in the last video lecture. So you can practice more problems regarding finding out linear transformations, and in my upcoming video lectures we'll be discussing few more topics which are based on linear transformations. So I hope you have understood this question along with this lecture. If you have any doubts, you can mention them in the comment box. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more such videos. Thank you.